I've been keeping an eye on the secondary market all week, and I've got 10 comic books that you're going to want to invest in. So go grab your vibe juice and meet me back here in the comic room. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your humble host, C3. Before I get started, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for stopping by checking out the channel. I am back with another top 10 list and market update for you, the comic book community. Starting off at number 10, ladies and gentlemen, we have a hot cover alert. I'm talking about Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods, issue number 1, this beautifully done Daniel Sempier Virgin 1 in 50 foil variant. The last recorded sale for this book was $119 for a raw copy. This book has a current trend of 14.78% increase in copies that have sold. Average price for a raw copy right now is $116. There is no CGC information on this as of yet because it is still a fairly new comic book. But there was a high sale that took place for $175. So if you are one of those individuals who love collecting comic books based on artwork alone, this beautifully done negative space artwork is definitely one for the collection. So keep your eye out on this book because it's definitely on the move. Now, make sure you guys hit that like button and slap the subscribe button because you know I pride myself in bringing you some of the most accurate and update information on the secondary market. While you're out there on the hunt looking for your next grail or even your next banger, I want to make sure that you are duly informed of what that secondary market looks like. All right? Now, at the list at number 9, we have Green Lantern issue number 60. And this is the first appearance and origin of Lamplighter. Okay? Now, last recorded sale for this book was $50 for a raw copy. This book has a 35.21% increase in copies that have sold, ladies and gentlemen. The average price for a raw copy at the moment is $11, while the average price for a graded CGC 9.6 will run you $854. There was a high sale that took place, and that sale was also for $854 for CGC 9.6. Go Collect has 5 9.6s on the census with 7 sales thus far. So keep your eye out on Green Lantern issue number 60 because it is definitely on the move, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a book that you're going to want to invest in before it's too late. All right? Now, speaking of too late, don't wait too late to stop by your comic book shop and show them some love. Before you hit that secondary market, make sure you check the local comic book shops out and see if any of these books are in the back issues or behind the counter on the shelves or even in that beautiful glass counter that they have up front. Make sure we're showing love to the local comic book shops because it ain't no fun if they can't get none. All right? Show them a little appreciation. Now, moving right along, at the list at number 8, we have Star Wars, The Mandalorian, issue number 5. This is the EM Gist 1 in 50 variant. First comic book appearance of Fennec Shan, the Gunslinger. Yes, this is the first comic book appearance in comic books, all right? So it's not the first appearance, but it's the in comic books, in the story, all right? So I had to put this on the list. Last recorded sale for this book was $75 for a raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at a 35.53% increase in copies that have sold. Average price for a raw copy right now is $60. Average price for CGC 9.8 is $179. Now, keep this in mind that there was a high sale for $210 for a CGC 9.8. So if you're in the market for the first appearance in comics of Fennec Shan, keep your eye out on this book because it is definitely on the move. At the list at number 7, we have X-Men, issue number 24. And this is the first appearance of the Locust. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with all the speculation going on about the MCU, it does not surprise me at all why the comic book community is going after this book. This book is currently showing a 36.52% increase in copies that have sold. Last recorded sale for this book was $75 for a raw copy. The average price for a raw copy right now, we're running you about $29, while the average price for a CGC 9.2 will cost you about $408. There was a high sale for a CGC 9.8 that took place for $2,051, and that is a great price point for buy-in if this book is on your list. If you have to have this book, you might want to grab it before it's too late. Now, this next book is gaining momentum and holding down the spot strong at number 6, and I'm talking about Thor, issue number 8. And this is the first appearance. This is the first time Jane Foster reveals that she is Thor. All right. Now, last recorded sale for this book was $30 for a raw copy. This book is trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, with a 40.67% increase in copies that have sold. The average price for a raw copy is $18, while the average price for a CGC 9.8 will run you roughly about $70. Now, I don't know what happened ever since we got done watching Thor: Love and Thunder. This book has decreased significantly, but it is holding steady right now, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to invest in this book before the prices start going back up. I mean, the comic book community may not have liked the movie, but these are still key comic books that you're going to want to add to your collection, and it's the perfect time to invest in them while there's still time. There was a high sale that took place for a CGC 9.8 for $240, and I still think that's a perfect price point for buying. So if you are in the market for Thor, issue number 8, Jane Foster reveals herself as Thor, keep your eye out on this book because it's definitely on the move. And moving right along, we have made it to the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen, to our number 5 hottest comic book on the market. And I'm talking about Wonder Woman, issue number 207. This is where Wonder Woman finds scrolls of her old adventures. All right, and not to mention these beautiful bondage covers that tend to spike from time to time. Last recorded sale for this book was $23 for a raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, with a 14.88% increase in copies that have sold. The average price for a raw copy right now is $28, and the average price for a CGC 8.5 is $183. There was a high sale that took place for this book and for CGC 9.6, which cost $549. These books always go up in value. This is a perfect time to invest in this book. Grab yourself one before it's too late. Wonder Woman, issue number 207. Get yourself one. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in on the list at number 4, we have Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 144. And this is the first full appearance of Gwen Stacy's clone. Yes, this book continues to do numbers on the secondary market. Last recorded sale for this book was $25 for a raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, with a 76% increase in copies that have sold. Average price for a raw copy right now is $36. The average price for CGC 9.4 is $252. There is a high sale of $2,108 for CGC 9.8, but that raw copy book sounds real good for me right now. I'm really thinking about grabbing this book. Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 144, first full appearance of Gwen Stacy's clone. And even if you want to go after that 9.4, $252 sounds like the perfect investment. All right? So keep your eye out on this book because it's definitely on the move. Coming in at number 3, we have one of my favorite superheroes, and I'm talking about my boy Luke Cage. And this is Cage, issue number 3, the direct edition. And this is the first appearance of James Lucas. All right? Last recorded sale for this book was for $42, and that was a raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, with a 48.81% increase in copies that have sold. Now, average price for a raw copy, check this out, is $2. Yes, my friends, $2. Now, there was a high sale that took place for $60. So if you're in the market for the first appearance of James Lucas, Cage, issue number 3, keep your eye out on this book because it's the perfect time to get your hands on this book. low price point for buying. $60 won't break the bank. It's definitely one that you want to add to your collection before it's too late. Now, coming in at number 2, we have New Mutants, issue number 87, the second print, and this is the first appearance of Cable. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely remember ordering this book online, and I sent it back because it was damaged, but I wind up grabbing myself another copy, and I'm super happy that I did. So let's talk numbers. Last recorded sale for this book was $30 for a raw copy. This book has a 91.75% increase in copies that have sold. The average price for a raw copy right now is $17, while the average price for a CGC 9.8 will run you about $75. Now keep this in mind. There is a high sale of $260 for a CGC 9.8. And those are just beautiful numbers for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is like right within my budget range. I can pull the trigger at any time, and I just wanted to share this information with you. So if you are in the market for a New Mutants, issue number 87, the second print, and that's the gold cover, and it's the second print, and that's the first full appearance of Cable, keep your eye out on this book because it's definitely doing moves. It is definitely doing numbers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to our number 1 hottest comic book on the secondary market. And we are talking about X-Men, issue number 107, the first appearance of Starjammers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Starjammers. I'm telling you, the MCU has opened up. There is no telling who we're going to see. Comic book community is speculating all over the place. They're looking for the best value. They're trying to get more bang for their buck. They want to get these books into their collection before these characters hit the big screen, and now's the perfect opportunity to do that. Here are the numbers. Last recorded sale for this book was $134 for a raw copy. This book is trending upward with a 79.24% increase in copies that have sold. The average price for a raw copy right now is $87, and the average price for a CGC 9.6 is $929. I know that sounds a little high, but when you're talking about this particular book, it's not that high. This is still a good opportunity to get in before it really takes off. All right? Now, 9.6s currently have an asking price of $1,000 or better. What I saw on eBay was more like $1,000 to $1,500. So this price is going to go up. So it's the perfect opportunity for you to get the best bang for your buck and make that initial investment before this book continues to take off. Now, there was a high sale that took place, and that was back in November of 2021, where CGC 9.8 sold for $8,070. So if you can have a conversation with the seller, there's a strong possibility that you could probably grab this book for a lot less, which in my opinion, that's a win. All right? I like to strike while the iron is cold. And every now and again, I will try to strike a bargain. I'll do a little negotiating just to see if I can get that book into my collection. It never hurts to ask. A closed mouth don't get fed. So if you are in the market for X-Men, issue number 107, the first appearance of Starjammers, keep your eye out on this book because it is definitely doing numbers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have your list. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel. You know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, always keep it comics. Later, Gators. You know what it is.